Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm super excited because we've got a new, fresh website.
It looks amazing. I'm so happy with how crisp and clean it is. It just makes us look so professional. I love it.
Oh, thank you. Well, huge kudos to the team. I really can't take much credit for that. But I thought it would be really helpful because we're starting to make these videos about improving the website for you and I to share with our team member listeners and anyone else kind of how we're going to start working on the messaging for the site. I know this is something near and dear to your heart.
Definitely. Yeah. So we've been, from a corporate marketing perspective, we've been trying to think about how to position the company overall as we grow to be a bigger and bigger company. And it's been exciting to work with your team on figuring out that overall message that we can use both from a corporate marketing perspective, but also on our website and in all of our materials, honestly. And so we have a consistent message to go through everything we're doing here. So, yeah, I think I saw the first iteration of the messaging on the website, and I think, we wanted to talk through that a little bit as well today.
That's great. I'm just clearing some things off my desktop that I probably shouldn't put in a video.
I know how that is.
Yeah, so let me just move these off here. And then, yeah, I was thinking what we do is just I'll screen share the page and then we can use developer tools in Chrome and just riff on some messaging. And once we get it to a place where we're like, this is good enough for our next iteration, we can just write a quick MR. I'm hoping what this will also do is show everyone how easy it is to contribute your suggestions to the marketing website. And they're very invited. I mean, we definitely would like to believe we can get this messaging right, but we really want to hear what other people think too. So
Yeah, I think that sounds great. And that's what's awesome about GitLab in general is everyone can contribute. So it's great to hear other people's feedback as well.
So what I've done just to get us set up to save time is I've got the website as it is right now up here, and then I've got another tab where we made one change. Do you want to talk about this
Yes.
here?
So yeah, so um I think the one thing that stood out to me when I was reading through it is the GitLab has all the tools you need to reduce software development cycle time. And one message we're really trying to get across is that it's not tools, it's actually a whole platform. And I know that's the first message, but one thing that we think a competitor is doubling down on is the tools message. And so we want to make sure that we are really hitting home the platform message. So removing that so people don't hone in on that and think it's a disjointed solution, if you will. So I think we need to remove that. And I like the whole thought of GitLab reduces software development cycle time, and just at least for a first iteration. I think one thing that's kind of been going through my mind too is what really sets us apart from our biggest competitor. And when I think about that, it's a lot of the cloud native capabilities that we have, and then also our large open source community and contributors that contribute to GitLab. And so in the future, I really want to think about how we can highlight those things as well, or maybe it's not in the sentence, but it falls shortly after that. So really want to kind of think through that as well. The other thing that is, when I read through this, join more than 30 million developers who rely on us for source code management, CI/CD, security, and more. I love that 30 million number. I think that's great. It shows that we have, a large base of customers using us. One thing that I know one of our competitors uses how many developers they have too. So one thing that stands out to me is that a Me Too message, and is there another way that we can message that effectively? But I don't have the answer today. I'm just more thinking through that.
So let's take these piecemeal a little bit, just because I would love to maybe make a couple changes if we can, and also I
Hmm.
can take some action items with the cloud native and open source. I'm not sure, I wonder when people first come to the site and they don't really necessarily know a lot about us, like if they care about that yet, or if we should make a section somewhere on this page that's like all about that. Maybe even, we could say a
Mm,
lot more if we had a whole
yeah,
section like this to play with. What
yeah,
would you think of us taking a first crack at something like that?
that would be great. Let's try it. Let's see.
I just feel like it's going to be tough to get that into like a single sentence. So,
Yeah,
I mean, maybe we figure that out, but until we do, instead of just totally losing that, because we don't have it on here right now, maybe the section will give us something to play with and we can put like a call to action or something measurable. And if we see that that's generating like a lot of clicks, then maybe that's a sign to us that we need to elevate it higher in the page.
I love that. Yes, let's try that because then we can test that message and see. Yeah, I think the whole like we can plug into any like bring your own Kubernetes message, basically, but we might want to up level it a little bit more. Let me pull up some messaging that I was playing with. Hold on.
While we're talking about this, one thing we managed to do accidentally by taking that out is now we've got this kind of hanging and more, which we would kind of consider to be a bit of a widow on this line. So I'd love to talk about, you mentioned the 30 million developers. One thing I was wondering is on our About GitLab handbook page, actually, let me just pull that up. It also mentions, I think it's like 10,000 organizations. And I wonder if a difference in our messaging might be that we're more about enterprises, like more about companies and a little bit less about, so these metrics.
More customer centric. Yeah.
So
I like that a lot.
I thought I saw it somewhere. Oh yeah, no.
I also love on the enterprise page how you pull out those organizations. And I think if we could eventually have that, something like that on our homepage too, it'd be really nice to see that too.
Let's just show that really quick. So tell me more, like, you mean you like that there's some logos like right here at the top?
Let me,
I just,
yes, I love that. And then also when you scroll down,
this part,
those images. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's so, to me, that's really makes an impact.
I kind of want to just take this section and replicate it on the front page. Like,
I agree.
I really love this section. So I'm very tempted to just bring it over because I just love that there's human beings. Like, I like seeing people's faces.
It's really impactful, and y'all did a really good job of taking like the core of, what matters. Like 1,500 people adopted it in the first week. That's amazing, So I think that's what enterprises are looking for. They want to move fast.
This also reflects really well back to that cycle time message because a lot of the things here are about speed.
Yeah.
So I'll take that. I'm writing notes, by the way, because I can't capture all this, but I'm going to call this like the proof points with humans. But curious about just going back to the top here. So we do have this like really tight message here. What if this was on the front page of the site? Is this too minimalistic? Is it too little? Just to get your reaction. I mean, I'll say what to do. I want your reaction.
I love it because it's very to the point.
I like that this is aspirational. Like, I feel like this is the first message we've seen that's a little bit like less about us and like down into it and more like up leveling to like, oh, like what are you looking forward to? Like how are you gonna feel if you become part of this community?
And I think one thing I've been trying to get to the heart of with messaging too is like from like, starting your idea and then getting it, like deploying your code, shipping your code and getting it out there for customers to be able to use pretty immediately is amazing. And I think that captures that in the one application, endless possibilities, because it's like, anyways, I like that. Whereas GitLab reduces software development cycle time, is it in my opinion, that's like it's saying the same thing, but it's in a very jargony way a little bit, if you will. So I don't know, there's something really nice about this.
So let's see if we can, I'm just going to take a crack at typing something in here and see.
Software development cycle time is very wordy too. And this again is, it's aspirational, like you said.
Okay, so let's try this. One application. Sorry, the dogs are always in here at the right moment. Just for a second, I'm going to break my own rules here, and I'm going to not have the word GitLab in this sentence, just so we can.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the difference is like this one's like GitLab for enterprise.
Well, we can fix that in a second. We can do it this way. And also Ann Moore's week, but we'll deal with that in a second. So let's see, where was it? So I think the thing I'm thinking of when I look at this is this is still listing like our major features, which I think is important because I like if I came here as a developer and I'm looking for these things, I want to make sure I came to the right place and match my intent. But what else do they rely on GitLab for? Like emotionally, like what, like if they got all these things from us, like what happens? Like,
right. Well, that to me means like, you know, it's like the shipping of code quickly. Like if you have this, you store your code there, you have your idea, you ship it, you automate it, and you get it out the door. And that's where, but see, that to me is captured in the one application, endless possibilities in my mind. Like it's not verbatim that way, but it is, oh, there, yeah.
I mean, can we just say deliver software? I mean, I don't know if it has to be complex at all.
Yeah. I think that's good. That's speaking the right language and it's not gimmicky in any way.
What if I put this little section where it says trusted by enterprises, loved by developers with these logos, and I just add that
it.
And then we're like, we're done.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think about the 10,000 organizations right now? Or do you want to, I mean, the one thing about
put it in here, trusted by 10,000 organizations, loved by developers. Like, why don't we work it into the second level headline?
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I don't want to lose it if you think it should be up in this upper section, but the thing I'm wondering is like, you know, there's the messages we want to say about us for us, and then there's the messages we want to say that's like for them to figure out like if they're in the right place. And I'm just wondering how much they care, to be totally just being honest.
Yeah. Well, I guess the only thing, like, let's go back to that 30 million developers just for 1 second. Yeah. Like, I guess one thing it does make us look like a serious competitor, I think, because I think people will be like, whoa, there's that many people using GitLab versus our big competitor that also spells out how many people they reach. Yeah. Is that needed right now? And that's what I think I'm like struggling with a little bit, but I also love the organizations because I'm not sure they spell out the organizations anywhere.
Yeah.
When I look at it competitively. And so.
Well, so one thing is this might be the place to play with it. So we could say,
loved by 30 million developers. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Trusted by 10,000 organizations, loved by 30 million developers. I don't know.
Yeah, why not? Let's see what it looks like on the page.
Yeah.
It's a little like data heavy, I guess, but it actually doesn't eat up that much.
It doesn't look bad.
I mean, it's a pretty incredible proof point. Like, just so for anyone listening, we should be extremely proud. Like, not only is it 30 million developers, but you know, demographically or rather firmographically, like our customers are in some of the biggest and most like important software engineering organizations in the world. It's not just individual developers. Yeah. It's really cool that they're making projects, but I think the important thing for us as a business is we've made this decision to make sure this is enterprise grade software. So we do want to make sure that message comes through. It's part of how we're different.
Yes. I think it's great. I think let's try it, right? And see how. Yeah.
So let me actually do this. So just for anybody watching, if you wanted to go and you wanted to make this page better, the really wonderful thing is at the very bottom, you can just go to the view page source or edit in Web IDE. So I'm going to go ahead and open a tab in the IDE right here. I've actually opened two on accident. And so this is in, what do we need? We need, I know we need includes. Yeah, it's in here. So the hero is inside of the includes for the home page. And so here's the copy that we've been playing with right here. So I literally can just take what we've tweaked and I'm just going to paste it in here carefully. Great, so we've got that. And then we also need under our call to action button, which is right here. What we're going to do is we're going to actually go get the enterprise page include, and I'm going to see if I can just take that same code. No, that's not it. Let's just go see where this is in the IDE real quick. This way you don't have to write a new module. I'll just reuse the one that we've already created. Sorry, give me this, like, bear with me for 1 second. Okay, so source, enterprise. Okay, this is all this. NVIDIA. I think it's just this right here. Let's take these 2 rows. Where did we go? There we go. Cool, so we have our call to action right here. Should be able to. I don't know what this is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not sure the order. I'm just checking.
Yeah.
Don't mess
You
up
just start your free trial. Yeah.
I think it's here. I think I can make another.
I haven't done this in a while, the HTML type.
Oh, it's okay. Well, together we will find a way. Let's actually look at how it's done in this page here. So we've got our.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
So they're loading the header first, and then they're loading this. So we'll copy that style. We'll take the whole thing. We're going to see if this works. Actually, you know what I can do that's even easier than all this? I'm just going to look at it actually on page.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Let's look at their code.
Yeah. It's kind of fun though. I haven't played with like HTML for a while.
Isn't it great? Like, I mean, one thing I really want to encourage everyone watching is like, I don't do this all the time. I don't do this for a living. This is not dangerous because we're not going to let you ship something on a whole site. Like, we use our own product. So go crazy. It's okay. Like, this is actually an awesome way to learn HTML. Cool. So it looks like what they did is they did use that first. This one here contains the call to action, and then there's a new row. So maybe I won't torture you by making you watch this, but what I will do is I'll get an MR put together that reflects what we just talked about, and I'll send it to you for review first. And I'll make sure the preview app is working so you don't have to get the whole local development environment set up. Although if we do this together a lot, that might be worthwhile.
Yeah.
And if you're happy with it, we can get it merged today.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, I think I'm just, yeah, that sounds good. Let me,
Did I cut you short on other stuff you wanted to explore today, or do you want to just try this and then we'll just do another session?
Let's just try this today. I think the one thing I also want to think about is how we get the message across that we were the first to deliver the platform. And again, does anybody care that we were the first? But I think the only thing that I think I care about is like we're the most, like we've been experimenting with this for a while. We're not just like doing it right now, you know, like, so that's what I mean by that. Like we're the most mature. I don't know. But I don't like the word mature because it sounds like legacy, you know, or something. So it's like, how do we sound like we know what we're doing? Anyways, that's just in the back of my head. And as we iterate, we'll continue to talk about that. So that's just another thing on my mind. But this is really fun. I'm excited to keep doing these with you and keep iterating on this.
Yeah, you too. I love this. And I think this will hopefully encourage more people to give us ideas. So just reminding everybody, you're welcome to contribute with MRs. If you're not comfortable writing MRs, reach out to me or Melissa or Michael, or you can just post in the marketing Slack channel and we'll help you get to the right place.
Definitely. Awesome. Thanks, Danielle.
Thanks.
All right.